I can remember when we were running in Group S having to stay behind after the drivers' meeting, and because the previous meeting we hadn't played nicely at all, and we all got a lecture from Sir before we went out. And I think we then had a red flag on lap one of the first race.
Yes, I remember that meeting. Yeah.
You took notice of that then?
Yeah, everybody. Well, we're right. Don't worry about us. And of course, Group N has at times had a reputation for biffing and barging, but they've really cleaned up their act in the last
few years. It's now V8 Utes. That's why, John.
Yeah, well, you've got V8 Utes to absorb all that sort of particular behaviour, haven't you? And I think if you don't have a prank in V8 Utes, it's almost deemed you're not trying hard enough.
Well, they're going to be historic soon because there's no Utes made anymore.
Well, that's true, yeah. I wonder what happened to all those old Geminis. So what's happening now? Are they going out to complete this race as a two-stage race, or what's happening?
Well, it looks like it's heading out onto the track.
Yeah, possibly because it's a trophy race.
So we're not entirely sure what's going to happen. They've released the cars back out on circuit, gents, which appears
what's left of the
field. Yeah, there's been a few of them disappeared.
The field is.
Yeah, it looks like it's a rerun.
And well, it is. The Dawson David Trophy is held in very, very high regard in the HSRCA. No doubt that's the reason why we're continuing
restart complete. Yeah.
And bearing in mind they didn't even complete a lap of their race this morning.
That's right.
They probably decided to give the guys a bit more value for money.
Had only a couple of laps yesterday. So could Keith Simpson come out and find a few more horsepower in the BD16?
Well, they've had the chance to cool down and get the tyres down to a cool temperature. Everyone will come out equal. Just very quickly, gents, while I remember, happy Star Wars Day.
That's right.
May the 4th be with you.
That's right.
Oh, dear.
No, this is now a legitimate, recognised day, would you believe?
Oh, no, that's awful.
Star Wars Day.
Yeah,
no, white, not
I should have noticed because you did come in your Dark Vader type uniform, whatever this morning.
It's a Jaguar T-shirt.
Yeah. Just noticed there, Keith Berriman's managed there. Look at the mirror sort of sticking up.
It's like a radio control area.
That's what I'm about to say.
That card out.
Maybe Keith's son's down remote control.
Don't you worry about a thing, Dad. I'm here.
Yeah, we're right. Just hang on.
No turbo boost on the car. It's all remote operated. Right. So yeah, we're going to get back to a clean start by the looks of it here, ladies and gents. And thank you so very much for sticking with us. It's been an unusual day in the amount of incidents we've had trackside. And I honestly cannot remember, fellas, in the 10 and a bit years I've been the circuit commentator here, I've seen so much in one day.
Well, I'm trying to work out what's happening now because the cars are not lining up in any order that seems logical to me.
It seems like where they were. Yeah. And their grid marshals aren't even out on.
So race control seem to be a little bit bemused as well. We've got a couple of officials trackside, but nobody actually down on the grid to guide into respective grid positions. One would hope that the drivers themselves would have an idea of where they go.
Yeah, at the front.
Yeah, everyone's going to be at the front.
Yeah, I was on pole, honestly. You must remember.
Well, they're being held further back at the moment.
Yeah, so they're just, I think they've been told to go and...
Some of the cars to come through now.
Yeah.
Well, you assume they would start where they finished.
If it's a clean restart, though, Alan, if that's the case, they can restart from where they were registered for pole.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it looks like well as in his original starting position. Yeah. Here's Simpson coming down now to take up position 2.
And Eddie Holly's into
position 4.
Position 4. That's a pretty little car.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And incidentally, car number 17, Ed Holly's car that we're talking about here is for sale at the moment.
It's not, is it?
It is.
Goodness me.
And Ed said, I'd love to sell this car. It's a brilliant car, but I'd rather be driving my BT6 Brabham. He said this car is all set up, it's all ready to go, And I'm sure there's be someone sitting here in the grandstand today, or someone watching our TV coverage.
Well, you could buy Wayne Seabrook's Porsche 911
That's right.
Carrera and run in Group S.
Yeah, the standard of the classic.
No, he's got another one, the one he's running in regularity today, the silver car, that's available, and there's the 2-litre one at the Classic Throttle Shop. Ed's, is that the Brabham?
Yeah, second board.
BT23.
BT21, it'd be a nice little shed.
5 seconds forward.
Ready for a restart here at Sydney Motorsport Park, and we are away. Hopefully this will be a good clean race to finish this one off for them. And away they go, gents, down into turn 1 for the first time. Have a look at that number 117 car of Berryman, absolutely streamed down the inside of the circuit into turn 1.
Well, I think he started from the rear of the grid then.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. In fact, I'm not sure he was out before. But meanwhile, then, it was Richard Carter making a terrific start. This time, well against by Simpson a little earlier in the race. Takes him on the approach to turn 2, round the outside, and looking terrific.
Keith Berryman sort of making some ground there at 117, isn't he?
It's a monster, isn't it?
Picked up about 5 spaces in the first quarter of race distance here.
And how close is Simpson to Carter there as they came into turn 4 as well? Not sure how many laps this will be run over now.
Well, again, if it's a time situation, as you both pointed out, they only got 1 lap earlier in the day due to the car fire.
Not even one.
Yeah, that's right. Fair enough. So Damon Hancock with the burns, and they should really deserve to get a full race under their tyres.
Interesting though, they wouldn't have been in a position out down there where they could refuel, would they? You wouldn't carry a heck of a lot of fuel, and if you're serious about it, motor racing like Richard Carter, for example, still takes it all pretty seriously. He wouldn't have been there, he wouldn't have put in an extra 5 or 6 litres just for the fun of it.
That's right.
Maybe they're going to get the fuel stop.
Yes.
Just looking there at Keith Simpson wrestling the wheel in the car number 38.
And he's looking, he's very close on the tail and pulls out the pass well as they have come down to turn 1. He's going to make it stick too, I think.
No.
Well, no.
No, he's not. Weller keeps on.
Weller holds his nerve on the outside.
Yep, very good.
Yep.
Very good move. But look at this, down at trying under brakes, but not quite heading into turn 2. That beautiful long sweeper.
Yeah.
Love that corner there. And Ed Holly just watching in the background.
Got a fabulous view.
He has indeed.
And Herb Neal, he was in close company in the last race. Meanwhile, Keith Berryman beginning to get a bit closer to the sharp end.
It's a monster look, isn't it?
Well, it is, particularly that view then when you can see the engine in the back there and see why the back of that car is such a brute looking machine.
It's the 1967 Matich SR3. We're talking about the 117 numbers at the rear of the car, and just ahead of him was one of the smaller ones, maybe one of the Brabhams or something like that. And it just seems to be a real David McGuire battle size-wise between the two, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I remember racing like this, with Formula 1 style open wheels and the Matich car, which in those days was blitzing a lot.
And then there was another, which is the match that went to Europe. SR4, is it? Went to Europe. And the last time I saw it was being raced by a bloke called Harm Legay.
There's an SR4 down running here this weekend.
And who, you ask, is Harm Legay? He was at the time the chief stylist for Porsche.
Wow.
Racing a
Very
Matich.
good mates.
Yeah.
John knows all the people.
I went and I said, he said to me, would you like a drive for the car? I said, oh, no.
No harm, no foul.
I was going to get next to you.
Now they come to complete lap number 2 for these particular cars. Bit of a side-by-side drag race, but the Matich has just got the legs coming down into turn 1.
Only just.
Only just.
Sound like it.
Yeah, he's picked him up by about 2 or 3 tenths of a second coming through there. 3 tenths as it turns out.
And a little puff of smoke almost from the back of Faulkner's Alpha Mono then, but under brakes, who's going, well, yeah.
I think Noel will be holding back there.
I think I'd be holding back in that circumstance.
Noel Faulkner, obviously, in that little Alpha Mono that we're just seeing flash past the screen there. His other car in the collection is a Stanguellini Formula Junior, front engine Formula Junior. It's probably one of the prettiest Formula Juniors out there. As we look back.
Last lap brought out, gents, so it is going to be a short race on this one.
As we're looking at Keith Simpson going through turn 1.
across the tunnel. Big right-hander here at Sydney Motorsport Park in turn 4, using the full 3.93 kilometre circuit here, the Brabham circuit. Grand Prix circuit, I beg your pardon.
And Jeff Berry there in his Kaifeng.
And I'll tell you what, this race is not over by any means yet as they come onto the straight for the last time. It's Richard Carter just holding out Weller, and there's nothing in it. So they come down the straight now, the checkered flag being readied, and it will be Richard Carter. Weller had closed right up under brakes to the back of the end of the short back straight. So it's Carter from Weller and Simpson, Ed Holly fourth, Herb Neal fairway back in fifth, and will Berryman Keith Berryman will. He might. Gee, the thing's got some grunt.
Straight here.
No substitute for horsepower.
Right, there you go.
Just get him on the line.
Yeah, just pipped him.
Yeah, it comes down to a bare tenth of a second between those two. So it'll be Carter for the win. Weller, Simpson, Holly, Berryman has just got ahead of Neal. Alan, a couple more yet to come through.
Yeah, and there was a bit of smoke coming from the back of one there as he was slowing down. So I don't know what's happened there. He may just have made it.
Well, I thought
spin around at 15 as well.
11.
Yeah, and I also thought Faulkner's car had a bit of smoke coming out from it a lap earlier. So yeah. Meanwhile, there's a car spun on 15 at the end of the race, and a retirement over on the approach to 15. So
157, 167, something like that. Hard to pick up the number. It was obscured by the ball.
If it's not the truth, the ball, I don't think. Yeah. But it's a great effort from Keith Berryman there as he goes into the pits. To come on the back of the grid to end up fifth.
Great to see that car out there too. It's one of my favourites. I think it's a ripper.
Me too.
We saw earlier the SR4 quad cam Repco engine, the only quad cam in service out in the demonstrations. That was well driven by Nigel Tate as well.
And next race coming up will be Groups A and C, and Darren Knight, who is the man who knows more about A and C than anyone, and he's up to see us. He's joining us in the commentary position, and